Greetings everyone, I hope you're doing really well. Today I will show you how you can paint background like this one using very simple tools. First step is to apply your base color of choice using big stiff brush, trying to add a little bit of texture here and there. I also use canvas that has its own natural texture to it. Now it is time for the second layer. Firstly, you need to make sure that your base layer is dry to the touch, and in my case I'm using simple filling knives, but you can use big palette knife or anything that represents spatula form. And I will also use oil sticks. I find it much easier to apply a lot of color at once with them, and also you can experiment with different textures and patterns, but you can also use regular oil paint. During my research for a product like this one, I discovered at least two manufacturers that seems to be trustworthy, and other artists quite happy with them. I think you can find many other producers, however, just look out for artist grade quality. In this case, I know I want to add this tactile feeling to the background, as if it was very luxury, gorgeous velvet, and that's why I'm making horizontal lines and then vertical ones. And you can see that where was texture, it helps to spread paint not evenly, but leaving those broke lines that are quite impossible to paint by hand. Just by changing direction, how you spread paint and so on, change the effects. And now it's time to leave this paint to dry to the touch before we move into the next step, adding gold. And to create this gold beautiful paint, I'm gonna use bronze pigment and bronze medium you see on your screen. It's very easy to use and very beginner friendly. There are limitless variation of how you can apply it, and you can also see that if I hold my palette knife parallel to the surface of the painting, it gives this very glossy finish to the paint. So you can change how it looks, more textured or more glossy one. And having this texture in underneath layers helps me to create this very natural abstract pattern, and I really like this, but later I will increase the amount of gold, but maybe for your painting you don't need to add that much. And overall you can skip first two steps and just make your background completely golden. Compared to other oil paint, gold paint, this one I find the most versatile and the closest one to the real gold leaf. Of course, nothing can beat real gold leaf, but still, this is very good alternative. And also, don't forget to wear your gloves. You also can paint on top of it, and maybe painting some very interesting swirls or add more texture, and change your picture as you go. One of the advantages of this technique is that it's very beginner friendly, and you don't need to deal with gold leaf or its imitation. But if you want to challenge yourself, I have a lot of information combined in this post somewhere in the link in the description box. The only one downside of this technique is that you need to use varnish that is in aerosol form. I use this one, and I prefer to use glossy one because it enhances this feeling of the gold. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I want to say a special thank you to my patrons who makes it possible for me to buy such new materials and just to test them for you and to show the result. And I see you in next one. Bye bye!